Donald Trump's $3 billion empire. Tracking down Trump's prosperity in the last 40 years. There are many facts that we believe are hidden from the public. Subscribe to our channel and stay tuned to the end of the video to know about his road to billions. When he became the American president in the year 2017, he had a net worth of $3.1 billion. This made him the most wealthy president in U.S. history, dethroning the formal title holder George Washington. George Washington had a net worth of $525 million. So, can someone make such amounts of money? The average person in the United States of America will make $1.7 million in a lifetime. This means Donald Trump entered his office with a net worth equivalent to what 1,823 people would make in their entire working career. Now, what exactly was done in those 40 years to generate that kind of money? To truly understand the origin of Trump's $3.1 billion empire, we must take a step back in history. Taking a step back. Traveling back to the years of 1920, it was a time of economic prosperity. People in and around the United States by then were dining on fine meals and even traveling for vacation for the first time. It's still in that year when Fred Trump, Donald Trump's father, with his son, and Trump's mother, built on the success of his late father, Frederick Trump. Trump's father would go on to buy and sell single-family homes for a profit. The first home bought by E. Trump and their son was an $800 investment, which was renovated and then sold for an outstanding $7,000. This was the time when the need for housing increased. Fred would buy and sell hundreds of homes to various radio listening and cigarette smoking families in the 1920s. Their business grew to be one of the profitable ventures in the United States of America. With all that success, it seems that it would be a smooth sailing when Donald Trump came into the picture. But that wasn't. The stock market crashed. Chaos arose, and families in the United States were severely starving. And you know what people would do, especially when they can't feed their families? They do not want to buy a house. Indeed, they can't buy a house. So Fred's investment went bankrupt, and after a few years of struggling, they managed to put up a grocery store. It wasn't until a new deal was signed that they were back in business as usual. But this time, things were not as usual. Massive loans from the Federal Housing Association, or FHA, encouraged more companies to be built. They acquired $26 million from the government and built several properties. By the year 1944, Fred Trump had built dozens of expensive apartment buildings all over Manhattan. When Donald was 3 years old, his father created a trust for his children, using a ground lease on his properties. The trust proceeds were $60,000 per year. Not too bad for a 3-year-old, is it? However, in the late 50s and 60s, their massive business came under scrutiny. This was after being accused of racial bias in his rental properties. Trump's journey to a $3 billion net worth. At the ripe age of 22, Donald Trump took a front seat in his family business. In the year 1971, he became president of the company, earning a pure salary of $260,000 per year. In 1972, the company managed to secure an $8 million loan to construct the Prospect Tower. In truth, it was Donald's first property as the president of the family business. However, from shares and management fees alone, Donald Trump was making an additional $300,000 per year on top of his salary, just from that single building. By 1976, his net worth was listed at $200 million through the majority of properties such as Prospect Towers and Trump Village were entirely constructed by his father. Though enjoying all from his father's business, Donald brought something entirely new to their family business. It was an entire rebrand. Under his guidance, the decision was made that Trump's brand would be one of the prominent, successful project launches. To achieve this public perception, The company would buy all the historic buildings and renovate them into modern palaces. In the year 1977, by using a $3 million loan from his father, Donald commenced with his first project of the rebrand. He really used the opportunity to show the world about Trump's brand for the first time in history. Using business tactics that would put him in front and center of the media, as well as using aggressive tactics, thus giving Trump's brand a kind of media boost it had desperately needed. The Hyatt in New York City was completed and launched in the year 1980 at $100 million worth of renovations. Hyatt became a branding that gave Trump a $70 million profit. Indeed, when one gets a taste of money, the truth is, you need more. And that is exactly what he went after. In the year 1983, the Trump Tower was completed. It's a combination of retail, corporate, and residential suites. The entire project did cost financing worth $300 million. The establishment of the building was clouded with controversy yet again. In order to construct the massive Trump Tower, the historic Bonwit Terra building was to be destroyed. It was a shining example of art, decor, architecture. Many people in New York City were furious at Trump's decision to demolish the statues incorporated in the building's architecture. His business tactics didn't end there. The 1980s were a year of prosperity for Donald, the family, and the organization as a whole. Trump's tactics were known all over the town, including being an aggressive negotiator. He normally questioned, argued with contractors over invoices, and even refused to pay when the job deal was done. These tactics were only making him more and more popular in the media. Towards the tail of the 1980s, he purchased Trump Airlines, renaming it Trump's Shuttle. This was in addition to purchasing the second most expensive yacht and expensive Trump helicopter. It's like Trump had reached the road he had longed for. He was a symbol of prestige. Furthermore, he went ahead to start his new ventures, such as the purchase of Taj Mahal Casino in the year 1988 for $273 million. Indeed, the year 1980s was a decade for Trump's road to prosperity, resulting from his intense properties like shiny buildings bearing his name on them. He was on the top of the world. The 1990s saw the collapse of some of Trump's ventures, as well as his marriage to his first wife, Yvonne. When his Taj Mahal Casino and other 3 casinos went bankrupt, he was forced to sell his airline, jets, and yachts, since he was owing billions of dollars. Now, Trump's success was in jeopardy, but after several years of practice, he began to recover from his losses. Tell us what you think about his road to billions in the comments. He later shifted gears from real estate business and launched himself into the public arena like never before. He evolved himself in some marketing media commercials as well as the entertainment era of Trump, which rose to the forefront. He also went ahead to buy shares in Miss Universe and Miss USA. He also came up with Trump Modeling Management. He also purchased a golf course amounting to $45 million. In the year 2015, it was reported to give profits totaling to $200 million within 18 months. In the year 2004, he continued to pursue entertainment as a source of revenue, which you may have probably seen. This was a stepping stone to help him garner more fame. Apart from the above-mentioned ventures, Trump also launched other entities like Trump University, Trump Stakes, and Trump Mortgage. These are 3 businesses that would not survive to see his presidency. Still on, Donald entered his bid for the presidency with a net worth of around $3.1 billion. Discussion of how he got all this fortune was all over the news. Indeed, his success can be attributed to his generational wealth, plus the business tactics that have put him on the front line. So there you have it, how Donald Trump earned his billions. What do you think of his road to success? Share your thoughts in the comments with us and let us know. To have the access to our latest videos, don't forget to hit the bell icon.